fantastic. Stream is up, so audio is working. Yep, it is set to my headset input and output. I can hear it. I can see the little boop 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 on the little thingy, and yes, it all is good. All right, so oh, sorry about that. I got a message, so I just had to respond really quick. All right, so when last we left off, we had effectively broken into the shrine. There was a substantial amount of individuals who were present that were not so pleased with such a entrance. There was a bit of a melee slash slaughter that wasn't actually a slaughter because everyone was effectively knocked out instead of killed. So they joined, the bodies on the floor. And yeah, then there was some things happening with take us to your leader from Nokris, and then there was an attempt to actually go up the stairs, upon which, the guy was like, hey, look at the sign. And you were like, oh, I got this. I don't got this.
We didn't have it.
And so, we continue.
Very accurate label, I would say, whoever did that.
So this thing on Nokris, is this something that we as a group notice by now?
I mean, I feel like in terms of your noticing, you can tell that he definitely is like trying to walk into the middle of the room and go in the water. So it's kind of like what the fuck are you doing? And when he doesn't really stop, that's when you kind of intercede.
Yeah, because I think Zin has I think Zin stopped him last session, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the moment he started walking towards the pool, and I heard Dick say, not worthy, I grabbed him.
You've named him Dick. Okay, nice.
He seems like the type to correct you and say it's Richard, but okay.
I could probably agree with that, actually.
Well, seeing all this going down and absolutely not liking the
You
situation.
say going down about knockers going down.
Oh my.
Holly's gonna draw her great axe, and she's gonna look at Dick. And she's gonna go, "What did you do?"
I have done nothing. This is simply the test that she has presented before anyone before visiting her in her lair.
Well, fix it.
I do not have the power to fix such a thing.
And who does?
Well, Lamaruntash would.
Not worthy. Not worthy. Out of everyone in this group, he's the most worthy. He's a walking, talking dragon.
Oh, I think I heard you pipe up, but it was
No.
very faint. Okay,
Nope, I didn't pipe up. I was just laughing. That's what it caught, was my laughter.
got it.
Fair enough. Also catching Kita's laughter. Got it. Okay, so, yeah. So yes,
Wow.
you find yourself present with Nokris attempting to enter the pool. The pool happens to just be like 80 feet down below, but you are kind of keeping him at bay currently. The dialogues that you've unveiled have led you to the understanding that this particular puzzle, let's call it, or this particular whatever trap, I guess you could theoretically call it a trap, seems to be something that is in place from Lemurntosh herself.
Zin will pipe up as he's, got Nokris balled up at this point. And point to the wall and ask what it says.
So, Dick will answer back to you and let you know that the plaque on the wall says, "Only those who speak her scaly eye name may ascend."
What is her scaly eye's name?
Well, that is the question. If you are to be worthy, you should know it. To answer, to ascend.
What kind of weirdo has multiple names?
It makes perfect sense. Calorie would ask that of all people,
Oh,
because people have no concept of a name.
That is pretty comical, I agree.
Zin will shrug and sort of throw Nokris over his shoulders, still kind of bound. And is there some place safe that I can keep him until this wears off?
So Dick kind of thinks about it for a minute. Well, I suppose we could probably bring him to the training room. We could keep him kept in there. There are doors we could actually close and hopefully keep him inside.
I will stay with him to make sure he is safe. Please take us.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
doors, the ultimate barrier.
The ultimate barrier,
Alright.
the 8-foot tall giant man with a sword.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so Dick will lead the way, basically.
Oh shit! I lost you. I can't see where you went.
Just stick me in the room, Junie.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. So basically, coming down here, you enter this room. I'll read the descriptor for the room for you real quick, just so you have an idea of basically where you're now going, and if anyone else opts to follow or not follow. This room. As you pass into this room, there is a kind of muraled wall depicting a great bronze dragon flying high over the city of Leyland in its former appearance, where you can make out the entirety of the tower itself, having the actual planar sphere still present. The rest of the look of the area is a similar stone textured carved look like everything else. The ceilings are about 30 feet high, and you can see off to the side there is a small doorway that has what appears to be an entry, something that seems to lead down towards what you assume to be the outside.
Okay. Or is this area here, like, are those doors, or is that?
They are open. So
Okay.
that great hall in the middle where you just were, those areas are not doored or shut. They're open.
Okay. So, but this right here, the stairwell walking down is doored.
It's not doored. It's just a doorway. So
Okay.
like it could be probably closed up, but it is currently just open.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So Dick, I have to highlight the other tab here. Hold on. So Dick continues, and as he approaches the hallway, and kind of pauses for a moment, nods his head solemnly, and then kind of continues down the hallway. The description for this room as you are passing through it. At the ends, both ends of this particular hallway, there is a placard written in plain common tongue saying, "Silence for the fallen heroes, please." And then as you move through the hallway, you see many different inlets that look to be some kind of internment holes or rungs that are dug into the walls that are sealed over and effectively appear to be the tombs of people that have come prior. Some of them are still vacant and have not yet been sealed over, but there's no occupant inside them. And then making your way to the end of the hallway, you see before you a chamber room where there is a cook pot, campfire, and a bunch of stacked mats in a corner that look to be like resting mats for sleeping on, and there are various implements of training and warfare in here. Training dummies, targets, things like that. And attached to the sides of the area in the chamber, you see these two stone doors that you assume are being mentioned by Dick as a method to be able to then contain our friend Nokris.
As we enter this room, and after we pass the placards that say "Silence for the heroes" or whatever, Zin will ask who they were.
So Dick will, kind of respectively answer your question that the tombs in the hallway that we pass through are former Scaly Eye members, those who basically died in service for Lamaruntash and the defense of this particular shrine in its many years.
Did the Swords of Leyland, were they members of this religion, church, sect?
They were not.
Zin will nod and proceed to, I guess, continuously restrain Nokris until such time as he either stops struggling or comes to.
Okay. Everyone else, what are you doing or not doing during this time?
Kind of waiting for them to come back.
Okay. So
Yeah, I guess we would all kind of talk about it and determine whether or not if we wanted to wait or try to solve it ourselves. But it sounds like the best course of action is just wait until it goes off in an hour.
Understood. Okay.
I'm just thinking about it connecting in with the Scaly name.
All right. Very well. So basically, having led you to the room and set you up so that you can hang out and keep him contained with minimal ease, Dick will go back to the main chamber again, where he will await any further attempts of individuals going to ascend at the puzzle. And
Polly's just gonna sit and scowl at him the whole time with their mask still on.
Very nice.
Oof.
Very nice.
Man, what is that?
As you are standing and waiting, you see an apparition appear before you, Zin. It is the ghost of Telna Urkill as she greets you. She nods solemnly to you and says, "Thank you for your display of honorable silence when passing through the hallway before. She basically offers to answer any questions you may have about the Scaly Eye or about this particular shrine.
Zin will immediately ask to know what has happened to his leader, first off, why he's trying to throw himself into a chasm.
So Telma kind of, glances over in a ghostly way at Nokris, seeing the effect upon him. She notes that he is under the charm of Mother Worm, who is wanting him to jump into the sea, having failed her test.
What is her scaly eye name?
Well, Mother Worm, of course.
Yep.
Zin nods and proceeds to ask for the history of the fallen warriors, first off, to see if he recognizes any of them. I'm like 90% sure that he won't, but, legends and all that, I guess.
So Telma goes on to describe many incidents, battles, and defenses of this particular shrine from all manner of evil forces, telling you the stories of such individuals as Cobril, Gwendal, Kill Tom, Y, Zale, Tazir, etc. All names of fallen heroes dying valiantly in defense of this position and its, I guess, sacred nature.
So, I have a general idea of who Lamarun Tosh is. She is a protector of Leyland, and it appears that she likes, seeing as her shrine is on the sea, is Lamarun Tosh a god, or is it just an ancient worm?
So Talma continues to let you know that Lamaruntash is an aged bronze dragon, not a deity, who has quick healing capacities, and has spent many a year in the defense of Leylands and the surrounding area. To honor the deeds of the dragon many, many years ago, the swords of Leyland themselves constructed this very shrine as an homage and a method to supplant Lamaruntash in this region and in defense of their home city. She welcomed such a presence and such honor and has stayed here ever since. However, in the recent decades, Lamaruntash has become more and more weary, reclusive, one might even say, retreating back inside of her shrine and not wanting to see anyone beyond those that guard her.
Why? Why did she abandon her people?
She did not abandon her people, but rather we think that she may be going mad, from which we have to assume could be another form, some kind of force that may be affecting her. She leaves on rare instances to go out for food, but returns quite quickly, and only remains here in the shrine and orders her Scaly Eye members to stay on guard in her defense, but constantly being paranoid that someone or something may be here and may be trying to bring peril upon the world around us all.
How can we calm her?
Well, that is a great question, one which I'm not sure if I truly know the answer, but if you can find a way to convince her of your sincerity and that you are not, in fact, some ill doer, she may believe you. And if she does, in fact, believe you, perhaps you can reach her mind.
Is there any way that I could convince her? Anything that would help me convince her?
I know not of such an implement.
Zin nods. And as much as he's able to while restraining Nokris, bows to this individual, even if it's just a nod of his head. Thank you for everything. Is this going to wear off anytime soon?
It only lasts an hour. So
Okay.
it basically, the effects of the trap, or the magical trap, after this dialogue and discussion with everyone else waiting around, and you basically sitting it out with Nokris, he is no longer under the spell that held him, and is free of such driving forces.
Oh, when he's free, I ask if he was coherent and understood what was happening around him to get an idea of whether or not he was there with the ghost. Or saw the ghost, rather.
You're asking him, I believe, correct?
I believe I
am.
am. Right, Junie?
What's that?
I believe I am, correct?
Yeah,
Based on how compulsion works.
You're there. Yeah, you're compelled to want to go in, but you can still see things and
But
understand
I'm
what's
still
happening
cognizant.
around you. Right.
Okay. Yes, I am well aware. I'm also very peeved about all of this.
Zin shrugs at your anger, not really understanding it, and then he pokes you in the chest with a very stony finger and says, "You must try again."
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Then lead the way.
I will head back to the others.
You want us to just drag ourselves back there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You know the way.
I just don't want to do the same thing I did last week, so.
And jump through a wall and see things you're not supposed to have seen yet.
Correct.
Understood.
Just to reiterate, Dragonborn, it is Mother Worm you should speak.
I heard. Apparently Mother Dragon doesn't fit the bill quite as well.
Not as distinguished.
Technically, Dragon would be the more distinguishing thing, but to each their own.
She is
You
not
go.
Mother Dragon, though. Zin shrugs.
In any case, how long? We wasted what, an hour?
Yeah.
Yes.
I look. So I'm going to go. Let's try this again. I pass Richard, and I just snort at him a little. And I get up to the base of the stairs. I breathe deeply. And I say, Mother Worm, I have come to ask you a question. And then I try and go up the stairs again.
And you proceed effortlessly without anything barring your path.
I grumble underneath my breath in Draconic.
I have a question.
Ancient dragons and their titles.
Did you say that in Draconic?
No, I just said it in common.
After you say it, then I don't know if I should, because I don't think anybody can stop me if I want to fucking yeet myself off a cliff.
There are 3 of us here. We can try.
Zin mimics you and attempts to go over the stairs.
Okay. Zin approaching the stairs and thus speaking the name.
Mother Worm, I have come to ask you a question.
And I assume you begin to ascend,
Yes.
and so you move unhindered up the stairs.
Descends.
Just a little bit of backup in case shit goes south, you know.
Yeah, it makes sense. So, at this stage, is everyone going to follow suit and go upstairs? Are we going to have people wait downstairs below? How would you like to advance this?
I think it's probably best if we all go upstairs in case Crazy
Yeah.
Dragon bitch.
Sticking together might be a good idea.
I hiss at Richard as we all go upstairs after saying Mother Worm. And I don't just mean like a little pussycat hiss. I mean full on like
Alley cat. Fight.
She probably means like mountain lion or something like that.
Like you don't want to catch me in the
That's not
dark kind of
pretty.
hiss.
Yeah.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Exactly.
Roll for intimidation.
Alright, so, no, we don't need to do that. Dick will simply step away. Alright, so, rounding the
Big best
stairs.
step away. He's too young for me.
Rounding the
Oh,
stairs.
it's a good thing I didn't have to roll.
Nope, yeah, you're good. Rounding the stairs and ascending above, you reach the chamber of Lamaruntosh. Entering the room, I'll put you guys like this.
Oh, fuck.
Yeet.
Yep. You did say ancient bronze dragon.
Entering the room, you see before you a small semicircular chamber with 2 great circular windows on the far side where a aged and large bronze dragon watches wild and wide-eyed out the windows at the world beyond. The windows themselves are quite large and rounded, and it looks out over the ocean. The southernmost window, so the one on this side over here, currently has a crusting to it of barnacles and various whatever sea, I don't know, moss. I'm not really sure what else to call it. But it has a odd green tint to it.
Before we fully approach, I want to like kind of lowly, like quietly say to Nokris, if you need to convince her, tell me first, or give me some sort of sign I can help you.
Okay. I will definitely do that. We have to see what her disposition is first. Dragons are tricky beings, to say the least.
Okay, just don't do anything stupid again.
I will endeavor to not, but I make no promises as I wink at her.
Ooh.
Alright, so having entered the chamber, seeing everything before you, and seeing the dragon then catching your scent, she simply turns an eye to peer at you, and continues to decide in her mind as you hear her muttering, are they here to kill me, or are they here to speak with me? I fear that it may be the first.
Is she speaking in common or draconic?
Draconic.
I will respond back in draconic. Not here to kill, only to ask questions and see why you remain in your shrine, O Mother of Worm.
So hearing you speak in her tongue, she kind of turns, rearing around a little bit, and presents herself a little more evenly to the group before continuing her inquisitive gaze. Why is it that you
Zen
have
will
come? She speaks that in common because she knows that not everyone there is as learned of her ways.
Yup, sounds like a dragon.
Zin will drop to one knee and sort of hang his head in a respectful manner and just wait for the exchange, sitting as this.
She sees you and sees everyone else still and reiterates her question of, what has brought you here?
We were brought here upon a request, possibly of someone who once served you with distinction. A spirit by the name of Fervo asked us to come and speak with you and to learn why you have not left your shrine.
She thinks for a moment. Well, I do not remember one by the name of Fervo in my particular charge. However, you are here nonetheless. You seek answers as to my presence and why I remain here in the shrine. Do you not see the perils that befall the world?
I do, and it makes us wonder why such a distinguished mother of worms would let her hoard her glittering jewel of Leyland fall to them.
So she kind of looks at you inquisitively and notes that you must not see the same perils that I do, as if you had seen them, I expect you would not be here now, and you may in fact have run in fear for your life. Which leads me to believe that you are here for more illicit means. So I would ask you to plainly tell me why it is you are here, before I grow tired of you.
We are here for nothing, and I look to Holly to kind of give her an eye of like, now is a good time to help if you're trying to help. And I'll continue speaking. We are here for nothing more than to find out what plagues you and what dangers you may see. If Fervo was not someone of the scaly eye, perhaps they were of the sort of Leyland who helped build this shrine to your magnificence. Again, the world outside is dangerous, yes, but the fact is that your area, your hoard, your treasures are being threatened by them, and tell me if I'm speaking out of turn, but normally that would not abide by one such as you, especially if those forces are evil and looking to do harm to those who look to you for protection.
So she kind of quips back at you. You know not of what you speak. These things are too great for one such as mine. I am not able to defend against these things. I must bide my time until they are gone, so that I can safely return.
Then tell us what these things are, so we may try and help you. For, as you say, we are but lowly humanoids, and we do not always see the trees for the forest that it inhabits.
So she would like for, or I would like for you to attempt to do a persuasion check to see if you
I
are
would
able
also like to chime in after
to
this.
get her to believe you.
Okay. So I will do the D4 and this. So what's my... There it is. So plus D4, 18.
She believes some of the words that you are speaking, enough that
Yeah.
she gives pause to consider it. So during this moment of contemplation, if anyone would like to do any other actions or thoughts or things, now is the time for everyone to get a chance to do something before we continue further dialogue. So Talia, if you want to pipe up, we'll have you pipe up after everyone else does their things to begin the next round of dialogue. So if anyone else
Yeah.
wants to do anything
I've
else,
definitely got some very serious lines of inquiry. So,
Dragons like things, right? They like gifts.
I mean, yeah, I would imagine
Stained ones.
things that are shiny and precious and, you know, probably powerful are all things that they would enjoy.
Hmm.
I'd like to think my 18 is me choosing the correct words to compare her items to.
So
Uh,
Cowrie, she
they're
started
fake.
talking after the first dialogue component. She started talking in, you know, common tongue, so that everyone could understand, because she's well aware that people's intellect are not on the same plane as hers. So she's dumbing things down for you.
Yes, and I switched to common as well because of it, so as not to quote unquote insult her generosity.
We're
does anybody
basically
else
just
have
trying to
anything?
convince her we're not a threat right now, right?
More or less, yeah. Trying to convince her that A, you're not a threat, and B, whatever other things you think you need to do to get her to effectively return to service as you were requested by the ghost back in Leyland. Or at least, you know, free her from whatever may be binding her.
We're waiting on dialogue still, correct?
Correct. So yeah,
Okay.
if you don't want to take an action, if you have nothing else to do, nothing to prepare, no other things you want to attempt to do in this moment of pause while the dragon is considering, you can just tell me you don't want to do anything at this point, and we'll move on to continue dialogue.
Yeah, because all I've got is dialogue. So.
Yep, same.
Seeing how this is going, Holly's going to start just carefully kind of digging through her bag. And she's going to step forward and look at the dragon and look back down at her bag, sigh. And she's going to say, I know that there are many dangerous things. We are not one of these things. Not for you, not today. But there are also many beautiful things, many marvelous stories that are worth protecting, especially in places like Leyland. So I want to offer you a small gift. It may not be as grand or glorious or powerful as all of the other things you may have, but this is what I have to offer. And I want to give her my mechanical canary and a lamp. Because I think that's cool. And Holly thinks that's cool. Because it's a fucking mechanical canary, for God's sakes.
Is that what you've been working on?
No.
Ah.
I bought that
She
like
got
ages
those.
ago.
Yeah, she got those from the
Oh,
Peculiar
right,
shop.
you did.
One of the many things she bought
Yeah.
that trip.
Yep, I do remember that
Yeah.
now.
I did not know the story of this thing. The shopkeeper was very, very incompetent. But whoever made it obviously put a lot of work into it. And I think that that's worth protecting. and I'll just kind of put it on the floor and scoot it as close as I think she'll let me go without without offending her. Then I'll just return to the group.
Okay. She more or less will kind of take that into some form of consideration also while she is already thinking.
I've already said
Yep.
my bit. And
You
I've
already
done
did your
all
piece.
I've done all I can with this.
Calorie, I assume you're basically just going to similarly wait it out or not do anything at this point in time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait it out, make sure they're not making any
Okay.
quick moves.
Okay. So yeah, with Holly making an offering and Zin and Kaori kind of waiting, Talia, you're up to voice your concerns and or your case.
So, Talia is going to first take her shield and her flail and lay them on the ground, and then raise her hands to show that she means no harm. And then she will say, "Mother Worm, may I approach?"
You have come close enough. You may stay where you are. Speak your mind.
Then, if I may be so bold, I may speak your mind as well. And Talia is going to pull her hood back to show, like, her wrinkle lines and things, and the fact that she is older. And she'll ask, "Mother Worm, how many years do you have? How many ages have you seen gone by?"
Kind of from that, she points and pointedly thinks, at least 800 years at this age.
And in all this time, have you ever had a brood of your own?
I have not.
Then your servants, this scaly eye, who guards you with their very lives, are they not like unto your own brood? Are they not as your children, protecting you and providing and helping you?
They are not. They are simply servants.
Then perhaps I misunderstood, but again, if I may be so bold, Mother Worm, I too have seen many years, though not as many as you, and the people who surround me now are as my own brood. But I still choose to go forward and help protect them every day. The people of the town I choose to go forward and I choose to protect every day. And I've seen untold horrors that I never would have imagined in my wildest dreams in my younger years. But again, I try, and I try. Sometimes I slip up. And sometimes I have to admit my own pride, and I must ask for assistance for, well, those that I sometimes consider lower than myself. As I wink, nudge, and elbow some of the group members.
Bitch, you don't know me.
Alright, so go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Hint, hint.
I don't suppose I'm close enough to Talia or notice what she's doing enough to cast guidance.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Alright, let's hope this isn't horrible.
Alright, so 16. So Lamaruntash contemplates your words for a moment, kind of still taking everything in, and gives a quick sneer. You say and pretend to know the ways of my kind and what might be best for me. Yet from this perch I have looked out over these waves and see the unto destruction and peril that rains from the sky, and yet you ask for me to leave here when there are so many evils and so many things fraught with danger out among the world. I simply cannot. And you should leave here. So we have another moment of pause. So we have two individuals who have effectively not attempted anything as of yet. You now have the option to try to speak or whatever you would like to do.
Go ahead, Alvaro.
I can think of anything. If you ask something, I'd read it.
Don't know if any of us got what you were saying, unfortunately, Avril.
Yeah.
I've
Didn't
got
quite hear you.
nothing.
Okay. Well, then from his still kneeling position, Zin will speak up in a rather booming voice and say, you speak of destruction, but your kind wreaks that destruction some days, and we fight back. I would fight for you in whatever destruction that you see coming. I want to live. I don't care if you want to stay up here, but tell me what to fight. Tell me how I can at least ease your burden. Because I want, and I will fight to live.
She hears your words. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Shit. God damn.
Better not. I thought it was going to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got a -1. Come on.
So she retorts back to you that you wish service unto me, yet you complain about my kind and how we live among the world. You are not worthy of our kind. You should leave here.
And I.
You know what? Fuck this bitch.
Wow.
Oh, fuck this bitch.
Wow.
I'm about damn done with this dragon already.
While she is spouting acid, if you will, at Zin, I will use one of my defined senses. As an action, I can detect good or evil until the end of my next turn. I can sense anything affected by the hollow, spell, or the known location of a celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. Just to see if there is some malevolent force kind of playing with her mind in some way, or if this really and truly is the ravages of age.
1 second here. Just want to make sure that your skill checks and things from that are effective for what is presently going on. Alright, so read me that again. The description of what it covers.
I can just put it.
Yeah, or link the spell card.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Say, I don't know why it's telling me a roll, but it is.
Okay. Alright, so from your heightened senses during this moment of back and forth with Zin and the
Yep.
dragon, you detect a very malevolent force from the southern window. The window that is barnacled and engrossed with some form of greenish moss that looks out of place.
Okay. Do I suspect that it is the moss itself?
You can't determine that from that.
I can't tell. Yeah.
Nope.
But so, what's the southern window again, Junie? Just so I'm aware.
So the southern window is right here.
Okay.
Compared to the northern window here.
Okay.
And the southern
So
window
it's
here
just
basically is this thing that's there, that opening. And that window is circular, or rounded, I should say, and has the growth of some barnacled moss around it, which, with it being a window, seems a little odd in that how would it have gotten in from the outside? But there it is, whatever that is.
All right. Well, time to do something stupid, I guess. So.
So
Is Cowrie
Cowrie's going
I
to
does.
continue dialogue from Cowrie if you're attempting to do some kind of subtlety or something else while this is going on, I'm assuming.
I am going to be, yes, but I'll let Cowrie speak first before I do my thing, because my thing's going to be stupid.
Okay. So, is that the extent of your inquisition to try to beseech Limeruntosh's intellect, Cowrie?
It's just an observation I had that I just say it. I'm not any particular trying to persuade her. It's just curiosity on my end.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check nonetheless.
It's gonna be a -1. Never mind, it's a 10. It's average.
So she kind of meets your gaze and retorts to you that for one that is so big and so reclusive, you similarly have some excessively large interest, but you have to be cautious of such interests as they could get you killed if you're not
I
careful.
took my time.
She kind of expresses to the group now, the lot of you all appear to be thieves or some other manner of individual here to either bring me to harm or subdue my position. And from that,
I'd like to do my stupid thing after she's done talking.
And from that, I would see you leave or see you die. So, go ahead and do your piece now, Nokris.
Okay, so having detected that, I am going to use. Basically, I'm going to take this in terms for combat because of what I'm doing. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Misty Step, so I am right in front of this window and this moss thing, and then I am going to attack at the moss and basically shatter the glass and also destroy the moss, whatever it is, with my greatsword. And my question is, do you want me to make a couple of attack rolls on this thing? Because I'm going to divine smite this thing to high hell and back.
Yeah, if you're gonna go balls to the wall to start, swinging for the fences at this thing, so yes, you approach and you effectively, break the glass. From the presence, from the presence of you effectively breaking the glass and or, effectively drawing attention to this particular area, the mossy shape and the barnacles and things that are basically on the window kind of come to life to reveal themselves. And
Able to attack them.
you can now swing for the fences.
Okay. 12 to hit.
Just a miss.
Okay, and then one more. Nope. And 12 to hit again.
Okay. So
That is
both swings missing, but you having broken the glass and thus having effectively drawn the attention and/or the gaze of the dragon. We will go ahead and have everyone roll some initiative to begin combat.
Oh boy.
As I said, it was a dumb thing. I was really hoping I could hit and kill this, whatever it was, quickly.
I didn't roll horrible for initiative, guys. I did it.
I was also going to say I can clear some of this out of here so we see the correct numbers for people, but let me just do this. I'm going to wipe it, and then I'm going to re-put your guys' stuff back in manually. Because it has all the swashbuckler people, or the people downstairs, associated. Alright, so add turn. Add turn.
Ozzy's gonna be so jealous he doesn't get a fight with a dragon nearby.
This time, as he got into a fight with a dragon, he brained it.
That never happened.
Yeah, that was just Ozzy's dream.
You can't convince me it didn't happen.
Just a good old rum dream.
Talia just aged super quick after that and became human.
What are you talking about? Talia's been 50 for a whole year.
We're
Oh,
6.
God.
Okay, so let me set the order, and then we will begin.
Wow, I realize that like 0 time has passed for our session this evening, but it feels like it's been forever already.
Alright, so after the events unfolding and the breaking of the window, Lamaruntosh's gaze is now turned and looking at Nokris. However, her reaction seems slowed, or almost as if it's been, in some way debilitated by a presence, which currently is going to take shape from the wall as it comes down and take a form of some kind of quadruped on the ground. From its body, you see an assortment of 6 appendages. Mostly they kind of look odd, like tentacles, but you don't see any real rhyme or reason in terms of their placement or where they really seem to come from, and the shape seems somewhat amorphous while it's holding its form at the same time. And
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
and the shape will beckon and bellow into your minds. You have done a disservice to come and seek this dragon that I had claimed, and so I will end you here to regain its mind. And so it will then attack Nokris. So Nokris, this thing is going to strike you 3 times with its weird amorphous tentacles.
I use my reaction to cast shield.
Okay. All right.
So let me just do this really quickly, because that's that one, and that's that. Okay.
Okay. So the first attack is a hit for 20 acid damage.
Ow. Okay.
Second one is a miss, as you're able to duck under the swing. The third attack is a hit for 21 acid damage.
Jesus Christ.
Something tells me you can hit higher than a 22 pretty easily. Okay.
Holly, you are up.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to use all of my movement because I have 40 feet of movement. Yeah, that'll be 40 to get there. And I'm going to rage.
Rar.
And I'm going to take a smack at this thing.
Okie doke.
It's not considered flanked, right?
No. Let's see. First attack is a miss. Second attack is a miss.
What the fuck? Okay, I guess. I'll just hang out here then.
Alright. Calorie, you're up.
I'm a toll the dead at the thing that's hurting my friend.
Okay. Alright, wisdom. It fails the wisdom check. So that's what? 19 necrotic?
19. Yep.
Alright, hold on one second. I just have to check and see if it has any resistances or anything.
If it resists it doesn't because of one of my features of being a death cleric.
Yep, so it takes full damage.
And then bonus action, I'll healing word at level 1 on knockers. So you get 6 back knockers, so if that helps from the 41 you just took.
Thank
And
you.
then I'll end my turn.
Alright. Tali, you're up.
Alright, wow, this sucks. So there's a creepy vine moss monster thing over there now? Did I understand that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Oh.
It hurt knockers real bad, go beat it up.
Okay, in that case, Talia will cast Firebolt at it.
So 25 to hit with Firebolt is a successful hit. And it takes 6 damage.
What?
It resists or no?
But it's made of moss.
It's also water. No, it's yeah.
You think
but
it's made of
also
moss?
water.
Okay.
Definitely not made of moss, guys.
No, it's fine. It was just moss damage you took, not acid. It's fine.
Yes, and now it's moss damage. You know, the type that literally nothing resists. Big scary dragon is hostile to us, yes.
We don't know.
Well then in that case, Talia will she will pick up her flail and shield from the floor as she moves forward into position in front of Lamarama Ding Dong here. So, and then she will end her turn.
Okay. Knockers, you're up.
Okay. I am going to channel my divinity and use my vow of enmity against this creature as my bonus action. So I now have advantage on attack rolls against this thing for 1 minute or until it's dead.
Okay. Noted.
And then I'm going to attack it again. 19 to hit.
Is a hit.
All right, I'm gonna Divine Smite.
Okay.
I'm going to do this at. I'm gonna burn my 5th level slot to do this. Junie, is this thing a? Is this thing a fiend or undead?
It is.
Okay, sweet. So I get my extra D8.
Fuck it up.
So that is 43 for the first hit.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to attack again.
The secondary damage that all came from it is your radiant damage, correct?
Correct.
So 32 radiant and 11 slashing.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, the damage types only matter because I have to pay attention to a whole bunch of different types for resistances and immunities. So.
That's why I'm glad I have that thing for resistances.
Right. And that's why I'll let you know if different things are different damage types.
Mhm.
I will attack once more. And an 18 to hit.
Is a success.
Okay, so 14 slashing, and I am going to Divine Smite again. Because this is actual abhorrent evil, and I can do that. So, let's do this. I will sacrifice another spell slot. I will sacrifice a 4th level slot. Luckily, the way Paladin is written, I get my max at 4th level spell slots for the radiant damage, which is nice. And I deal an additional 24 radiant damage on top of my 14 slashing.
Okay.
Paladin hurt.
And
you see it. You see its kind of amorphous shape shudder under the blow, but it simply cries out in rage against you and continues to stand its ground.
I will, as I bring down this clash against it, I will say to it in Abyssal, I know you, fiend, and I will end you. What are you doing here, and what is your goal? And that's my turn, because I'm not moving. This is the stuff that I do. He's speaking in tongues!
Zin, you're up now.
Can I stand to the northeast of the creature? Right there.
That's gonna be tight. If you can basically pass acrobatics to get into the position, I will allow you to move. But basically, if you square up in a position to move the diagonal to try to reach it, you can then attempt the acrobatics to be able to move into the position. But otherwise, it's a kind of a tight fit for someone of your stature, which is why, around the size of the dragon, I should say, which is why I would make you try to acrobatically maneuver through the web of dragony body parts to reach that position if you wanted to.
Is that going to consume action?
No, it'd simply be acrobatics as a check during movement.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, and acrobatics check.
Yep. So you, as nimbly as possible for a giant stone Goliath, you manage to kind of bob and weave your way, ducking and spinning around moving parts of a dragon, and find your position.
I was gonna say, why is he so nimble for a giant? Jesus. +6.
I'm gonna go ahead and make 3 attacks on it then.
Okay.
I will also go ahead and consume my bonus action to set my sword alight, so I'll do that extra 2d6 that I'm sure it's resistant to.
Go right ahead.
21.
21 is a hit.
For 9 slashing and 7 fire. 23, 9, and
Another
6.
hit. So first 9 and 6 for 15 is. And third swing, 27 is a hit.
And that's actually a. So I don't know why it doesn't do this.
But
2d6
because
plus
you rolled an
5.
18, I don't think you have improved crit, though, do you?
It's at 19, not
do have-
18.
I do have. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it
Yep,
would
you're
be a
right.
19.
My bad. I'm sorry. I derped.
I think you eventually
Okay.
get the 18.
So yeah, I do. It's like at like level 18.
Okay, so
So that would be
19,
12 slashing
12
and 7.
Okay.
So I have a question, and I probably should have asked this way earlier. Did that 1 hour count as a short rest, or are we just going further without that short rest?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Because that kind of affects a lot of things.
I don't know as if you were truly able to really rest because you were constantly monitoring your child at the time to make sure they didn't try
Yeah,
to get
knock
through
it-
the
Let's call it
door.
like it
Okay.
was. He was definitely a child. A single-mindedness going, eh.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have anything extra that I could do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because I used action surge in our last combat round.
Correct. Yeah, when we had the
Okay.
flood of fodder. All right, that is the end of your
Yeah.
turn.
Correct.
All right. So the mighty dragon begins to raise up. And let's see here. I have to roll a check to see what we get. And as the mighty bronze dragon rears back, beginning to inhale,
Oh no.
it
Hi, guys.
it collapses back down to the floor in anguish as its mind feels as if it's been jolted or barred by something intense. And thus it lays there, somewhat non-mobile, but looking as if it's trying to shake off the throbbing pain that was just inflicted upon its mind. And ends its
Wake up, mother worm.
Wake up, check your phone.
Okay, so sensing the current direction of this combat and what's happening, this fiend in the corner by the window basically will begin to emit a I guess, how do they phrase it in here? They call it a buzzing, a faint buzzing sound that you may hear in your ears. Effectively, they've enacted a skill that they have that's called Foment Madness. So, on the beginnings of your turns, I will need you guys to do a wisdom save.
Ah, fuck.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Oh, it's not so bad. I have a +1 to that. It's okay.
I have a -1.
Mm-hmm.
So, in this position where it is currently, it is going to lash out at let's spread the love with its amorphous ability. I will hit each one of you one time with its multi-strike, so you each get to take a little tentacle action.
Each person adjacent to it?
Correct.
Yup.
The people,
Okay,
Keep
the
you
telling
said
you.
each one of you.
I keep telling you guys, Holly's not into that. She's only into the dragon dick.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it could make it shaped and look like a dragon dick if it knew.
No.
All right,
You
let's.
just said.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so the
too
first
much
swing,
hentai, know where this is going.
the first swing at Holly, with a 16 hits for a 15 acid.
Of course it is.
So the next one is at Zin, which is an 18.
Suck it.
He is able to dodge. The third one is at Nokris, which is a 24, which hits
That'll do.
for 19 acid. And thus, it's unable to flee from its current position. And,
Ooh, it can't fly? What happens if I push it down?
And it ends its turn. Well, I mean, I guess if you want to attempt it, be my guess.
Would it survive the fall?
Your guess.
How does fall damage work?
So
Because
technically, fall damage is calculated based upon distance fallen, and it increases in terms of scale based upon the additional feet beyond a certain distance. So, if we actually have to have that happen or occur based upon the distance we're looking at, it would probably be the equivalent of at least 150 feet from this window down to the rocks below and or the water. So that's what we'd be looking at for potential fall damage, which I'm going to just guesstimate. We'd probably be looking at a ridiculous amount of damage rolled for the fall damage.
It's like a D6 or something.
If not
Per
simply
10 feet, I
being,
believe.
yeah, if not simply being just like straight lethal because of damage onto basically a rocky cliff face above water.
see, I thought that this thing could fly because it was like just it's hanging out the fucking window.
It was on the inside of the window.
But he
Yeah, well,
smashed the glass and it just sort of like
Yeah, to the ground.
It wasn't necessarily the window itself, so much as it was encircling the window and or the wall area around it that was coated in these barnacles and odd-looking moss. But
is it resistant to fall damage?
but we digress. But we digress. Holly, it is your turn.
Holly's a little pissed off that this thing is hitting her, so I'm gonna take a couple of reckless attacks against it.
Okay. Oh wait, because it is beginning your turn, go ahead and give me that wisdom save.
Yeah, fuck.
You got this.
A wisdom save?
Yes, wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna use my lucky trait on that.
Okay.
Let me find it.
As far as I'm aware, it basically allows you to re-roll one die. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So your 17 for the wisdom saving throw fails. And
What the fuck?
the buzzing in your ear.
Is it
Is it what?
Sorry, is it actually an 18 just because she re-rolled the d20 without the +1, or is it just a I don't know how lucky works.
It
And I don't know if
should
it'll
be-
make a difference.
It's the 18 because it allows her to re-roll the dice for whatever she is doing.
So she would have had the modifier. So at an 18, then she passes. So
Sorry.
no, it's fine. 18 passes. Go ahead and continue your turn. Second one is a hit.
What the fuck is with these rolls tonight? For 10 damage! Yay, go me! I'm so strong. That's it. I'll just stay here.
Okay.
Actually, can I use a bonus action for a potion of healing?
Sure. Go ahead and drink up. Drink your Gatorade.
She's swinging
Okay.
without looking.
All right. I assume it is now Calorie's turn. All right. Your wisdom save passes.
I have a
Hot
toll
damn.
that more.
What was that, Cowrie?
I'm gonna toll the dead at the weird thing. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what
No
it's
idea
called
what it is.
until after.
That was a 3d12.
Yeah,
Instead of
3d12 and only got 14. Yeah. So it passed the check. So it takes what, half?
Doesn't take out any.
0.
It's a
It's just a
cantrip.
cantrip.
Okay, so yeah, it doesn't take any damage.
I'm going to mass healing word
Okay.
as a bonus action. Everybody gets 6 points back.
Woo!
My health is
And then
yo-yoing
I'll end
real
my
good.
Is that the end of your turn now,
I mean,
Cowrie?
we also never really took the time to heal
Yeah.
after the big fight in the main room.
We didn't.
Okay, Talia, you're up.
Yeah, this is
Do
kind of
your-
what Talia
your-
is staying away from the horror from in between the stars over there. So.
Do your wisdom check for me, please.
Ugh,
It's gonna do a wisdom save.
that, but okay. Oh, wisdom save.
Everyone's so
click
concerned
over
about
here
what this
because-
madness is, and they don't even know.
I'm just okay with it. It's fine.
I mean, either way, I'm
so-
gonna fail because
So
apparently I need to hit
16.
like a fucking 18.
So 16 is a fail, and you hear a faint buzzing in your head, which distracts you and causes you to have disadvantage on your next attack, saving throw, or ability check.
Sweet. So avoid doing all of those. Let's see. I'm just double checking distances and things. So there's 5, 10. Can I see the thing from here?
Yeah, you can see it.
Alright. Hopefully this part works. Because I would like to cast Lightning Lure at it. Which means it needs to make a DC 16 strength save, please.
It fails.
So it gets pulled in a straight line 10 feet towards me.
Okay, so pulling it this way effectively crashes through Nokris.
Sorry, Nokris.
10 feet towards you, and Nokris basically falls into a position prone over here with the dragon. Unless he can pass a...
Ooh, prone
unle-
with the dragon.
Unless
No,
he
do
can,
not want.
unless he can pass a acrobatics check to keep his feet.
I will certainly try.
Just getting that 20. That's fine.
I just wanted to get it away from the window, guys.
Why? We were gonna shove it out.
6.
Okay, so you are prone.
But what if it's immune to fall damage?
It's still not our problem at that point.
Anyways, so yeah, it took the 15 lightning damage. Since it is now within 5 feet of me. Yay. But then bonus action to hit it with my
Okay.
flail. Because war magic.
Just make sure you roll with advantage/disadvantage, so I can see both numbers.
Disadvantage for this. in
Yes. All right, so the 18 is a hit.
For Jack Diddley damage. Actually, perfectly average damage. So.
Okay.
Let's see here. I don't have any extra reactions or anything I think I can do, so next person.
All right, Nokris, it is your turn.
Yep. 5. That is a nat 20 for my wisdom.
And that is a pass. You are good.
Okay. I'm going to use half my movement to stand up.
Mhm.
And then... Sorry, I'm just reading something really quickly.
Mhm.
Okay, it doesn't. Nope. Okay. I'm going to do this then as a... Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's why. Okay, I am going to, as a bonus action, I am going to cast Divine Favor on myself. Concentration spell. I get an extra D4 radiant damage on hit until the spell ends. So concentration up to a minute. And then I am going to attack this thing again. And since I still have advantage on it, since I did not succumb to its irritating buzzing. 24 to hit.
That's a success.
Okay, and I am going to Divine Smite this thing.
Okay.
I'm going to burn my last 4th level slot. Um, 22, and then an extra D4 of Radiant as well. So a total of 26 Radiant damage and 13 slashing for the first attack.
All right, 1 second. I'm going to calculate everything here.
Yep.
Okay.
Then I will attack once more. 21 to hit.
Is a hit.
Alright, I will Divine Smite again, because I want this thing dead.
The slashing action of your blade causes it to begin to unravel and lose its shape. A ball of kind of spitting and swirling color of green, and it collapses on the ground from your strike, unraveling and unraveling and unraveling and unraveling until it turns into the effective ball of waste. Is some kind of rot or, living biomass that's basically just rotten that lays there on the floor.
As it's kind of unraveling and taking its last breath, I will jam my greatsword through its quote-unquote chest and slowly push it in through it so that it feels as much pain as possible.
Mm-hmm. And as it expires, you basically hear it kind of cry out in pain and or for help in Abyssal, but nothing answers its call, and it is slain. The mighty dragon, having this turn of events unfold, collapses yet again onto the ground, but this time unconscious. It continues to breathe, but is unconscious on the floor now.
Calvary, check Lama Runtosh, make sure that she is fit aside from, and see if you can help with what possible damages might have been done to her mind. a couple of us should go downstairs because I don't know if the sounds of combat penetrated down there, and we probably want to get ahead of the entire order coming up here and trying to slay us for quote-unquote hurting their mother worm.
Zin picks up the biomass.
Okay.
And proceeds to walk downstairs carrying it.
Okay.
I will
yeet you down so you can actually come downstairs.
Thank you.
I'm gonna examine Amarunta and see if I can tell anything from a look before trying to do any kind of actual healing on her.
Well, how would you like to inspect the dragon? You gonna use medical, like first aid style inspection, or are you gonna try
Yeah, I
to
was gonna
use any
start
form
with
of
a more
magical
medical
inspection? Okay.
I was gonna start with more medical inspection for anything
Okay.
physical to try and work with.
Can I assist given my background?
Sure. So go ahead and give like a first aid check, medical check.
Oh, Callie's got it.
So basically, from your assessment of this dragon, not actually knowing anatomy and or physiology of dragons all that well, you're able to actually determine that the dragon is currently, in an unconscious state simply because of the, let's call it the release of mental control. But because of this bronze dragon's prowess for healing factor, it should be stirring back to consciousness quite soon.
No, because she seems to be doing well. She should awaken soon. She seems to only be unconscious because of the shock from coming out of control from the thing.
Alright.
But shouldn't be long before she awakens.
Well, let's give her some space so that we're not clustering around her too much when she wakes up. I only hope Zin is effective in his bargaining.
Not with a -1. But I do bar the stairway for sure, because that was undoubtedly a clash that they heard.
Yeah, and for the sake of everything else, I'll pull some of them forward to react to what you're seeing, or the ongoings of the room above.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they're quick or interested in wanting to fight more, but they will if they have to.
Holly's gonna kind of take her hand and she's gonna very forcibly smack it on Nocris's forehead and cast Cure Wounds. But she's pretty pissed off. She's like angry healing him.
It's like angry sex.
Next time, how about you tell us before you go breaking a window and getting in between this giant bronze dragon and a window, and then this thing comes out. And what were you thinking?
I did promise I would try and not to do something stupid, but unfortunately, I could not say anything or do anything else alert it to me knowing it was there.
Traps him between the eyes again and goes down with Zin. Just muttering the whole time.
You mogway fighting Sao.
How much? 3? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whopping 3.
That's fine. I appreciate
Because
it.
my rolls are great tonight.
I rub where she bopped me upside the head, and I just smile, but I'm thinking, she's right a little bit, but also...
That was so cool.
I don't think I could have in any way communicated that without arousing some suspicion.
I'll
Haha, you
just
said
pat.
arousing.
I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder and cast Cure Wounds as well. He got hurt by him.
All right.
There's 12 more.
Knockers takes 1 bludgeoning damage between the eyes.
All right. So having
Said I was sorry.
having positioned and having made a presence down the stairs to keep an eye on the guards, which are very inquisitive as to what exactly just happened. The dragon, Lemruntosh, regains consciousness and stands back up on its feet, taking kind of a groggy shaking of the head and gaining their senses once again. Having kind of assessed the situation once more and seeing the broken window, she turns to you, is still in her chamber, and notes, "Thank you, champions, for coming to my aid. I had befallen what I believe to be the fears and the presence of a fiend, a demon, usually known as an alkalith, which can take many shapes and forms, but preys on and feeds on the mind of living beings, keeping them steadfast in their ways and views under the grasp of fear. And now that I am free, I believe that you deserve some aid and compensation for your task, so I believe that you should come down with me and receive the blessing of Bahamut, if you are willing."
We would be honored to, Mother Worm, though I must say that we would not have known if not for a specter of some type, which I'm sure you remember when we talked earlier, perhaps. Their name was Fervo?
Ah, yes, you mentioned one of the swords. They always had such benevolence towards me, and I certainly had fondness for them.
I would like to just say that even from beyond their graves, they still wish to help Leyland, as I'm sure you do as well.
That I do. I will be sure to honor them in death in the ways that my kind will.
I nod, not knowing exactly, but having a better idea, I'm sure, than the others would. Let us go downstairs. I'm sure I'm sure the members of your order are curious as to the sounds that have transpired.
I believe that is likely the case. Let me put them at ease. And she gives a great bellow of a roar before commanding them to stand down. And all the guards kind of, get out of the fucking way so that you can be free to move about your area as you please. Just eat that guy out of the tower.
And then I'll start heading downstairs for where she directs us.
Yep. So effectively, she brings everyone. You go down, leading the way before she then makes her way down the stairwell. Because obviously she takes up quite a bit of space, making her way into the central room before speaking kind of briefly before her guards and her scaly eyes. "Ah, my scaly eye. My scaly eye, you have done well to defend me and follow my command to this day, but I fear that many of such commands were not of my sound mind, and so I owe you for your service, and you will be rewarded in kind." So they kind of, have their nods, but she continues onward, leading you into the statue chamber. So basically she asks everyone to come close to the statue as she will recite the necessary words to bestow the blessing of the dragon upon you. And so, as you stand at the foot of this magnificent statue of Bahamut, as the claws of the coast, the mother worm softly chants a prayer in the Draconic, and in a flash of light you find yourself in Leyland, but the town itself is covered in a cloud of putrid green gas. Bloated and asphyxiated corpses lie on the broken ground, and dying townsfolk crawl through the streets, gasping for breath. At the center of it all stands an enormous green dragon, grinning a bloody smile as the upper half of Marigold Brightshine's severed corpse hangs from her mouth. In another flash of light, you are immediately back, standing presently in front of the statue among the chamber and Lamaruntash. Lamaruntash gravenly looks at you as she notices what has just taken place, and beseeches you. You must take swift action to save Leyland.
Who did we just see there?
Lamaruntash kind of recalls the memory briefly. The green dragon in that vision was none other than Clogeliamatar,
Oh, damn.
who is...
Well, I was
Who is
going to
easy-
try to type that out,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I know. Here, let me do this. I'll copy-paste it.
Thank you. Yeah, would never have guessed to spell it that way.
He is known also as Old Gnawbone. They prefer the appetite of human flesh, and thus they have gained such a reputation. Old Gnawbone lives in a cave up north, past the Crypt Garden Forest, where the woods meet the Sword Mountains. You must go there, and you must see to stopping Cloglimianatar to protect not only Leyland from its future fate, but all of the coast. There may yet still be time to reason with this dragon before their actions are wrought in the fate we have seen. I believe if we are able to find an accord with the dragon, we may be able to stop them outright, or, should it be necessary, to stop them by force.
How do you reason with evil?
Well, even evil can still see reason.
We have a better chance of bargaining with a green dragon than other types of chromatic dragons. Greens are conniving, deceitful, but they are also of the most sound of mind and will often make bargains to increase their hoard or increase the size of their kingdom, if you will. If this were a white dragon, I would say we would have no chance of bargaining, for the things are barbaric. And no offense, Mother Worm, but they are the lowliest of true dragons by most standards.
Let me be very clear. I will not negotiate with a white dragon.
Well, fortunate for you,
It's a green dragon.
Cloglimianatar is a green dragon.
Tell me, what makes him so dangerous to not only Leyland, but the rest of the coast? It can't simply just be because he has a penchant to eat humans and other beings, such as that. What else is about him?
Well, Cloglimianatar has lived in this cave to the north for many years still, but has been held at bay from attacking any of the nearby settlements for decades. I believe that some plan or some other plot must be afoot, which is seeking to either embolden or change the fortunes of this dragon to seek its own joys and fun among the feeding frenzy it would have upon the coast.
Understood. How old is Claugulum Limtar?
We're just gonna call him Claw.
Claw or old Gnawbone. Well, that'll work. I can actually try to get you a realistic piece of information. 1 second. Alright. Good old Claw. Claw is older than I. Elder to me, even then. And one that I must urge caution with, should you need to fight it. The issue here is that I believe if I were to attempt to reason with this dragon or show my face a presence, it would simply enrage the dragon and cause them to seek a dispute over territory, and that would not be in the best interest of the coast.
Understood. How well, actually, let me ask you this. Junie, does Nokris have an idea of kind of how, I guess, dragon hierarchy works, i.e. the older that they get, the more powerful that they are?
Give me
Mhm.
give me a history check.
$17.
So yes, you have an understanding of basically their hierarchical structure in terms of age, and
Okay.
based upon what you're hearing from Lamaruntash, that this particular dragon has immense power in terms of its presence, even among her, and it's probably not the kind of dragon that you want to be messing with.
So it's probably at least 1,000. Great. Okay.
And off we go to mess with it.
It'll be fun and great and not at all lethal. It'll be fine.
Champions.
Note to self: get my warlock ready.
Champions, before you leave, she looks among the horde underneath the statue. You did a great service here, not only for me, but for the Sword Coast itself. And from that, you should have your choice of some of these items here before you. And she pulls a couple of things out of the pile to make you choose between. So, between your options, you have either a cloak of the Manta Ray, which the cloak of the Manta Ray, while its hood is up, allows the wearer to breathe underwater, and your swimming speed is increased to 60 feet. But adding the hood, or donning the hood, I should say, costs an action to either put it on or off. And among the other items that she shows you is a scimitar of speed, a weapon which has a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with the weapon. In addition, it allows one additional attack as a bonus action on each of your turns. And these are the items that she lays before you to choose, one or the other.
Either, speaking not in character, but either one will be helpful in what we're doing. Tell me, Mother Worm, do you know if the cave system that old Gnawbone inhabits, is it normal for dragons of his ilk? Do you know if there's lots of swamp around this particular cave?
There is, yes, there is indeed wetlands present. Only up to the entrance of the cave. After which point the interior, from what I recall, is not flooded.
Okay.
We are on a coast, so regardless of whether someone uses it now or not, it is something that, we're surrounded by water.
Correct. But yeah, it's basically up to a vote, so.
Does anybody actually need the scimitar?
I mean,
Is that a finesse weapon?
The scimitar.
I believe it can be, but also remember that finesse doesn't necessarily state that you have to use your dexterity with it. It just states that it's an option to use dexterity instead of strength.
Right. Basically, the sword does not have versatility, so it's not listed as being a versatile weapon. For additional two-handing a one-handed weapon, it effectively lists simply as a +2. So effectively, it's a magical sword with +2. So you get +2 on attack and damage, and you get to do an additional attack as a bonus action on each of your turns. If you have proficiency with a scimitar, it also allows you to add your proficiency bonus to the attack roll for any attacks made.
Does Holly have proficiency with a scimitar?
No.
It'd be a martial weapon, wouldn't it? Sorry.
I believe
Possibly.
so.
If it's a martial weapon, then yes, I have proficiency with that.
It is, let's see how it's listed here. Let me go to the actual item loadout here.
I have proficiency with simple weapons and martial weapons.
Yeah, scimitar 1d6 slashing, finesse, and light.
Yep, finesse, light weapon. So if you have martial weapons, you would have proficiency because almost everything, I believe, at this day and age has light weapon proficiency because of simple weapon combat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a blue great axe, so really it's not that much of a.
You
It
get a
wouldn't
lot
be
of
useful
damage out
for
of that
me.
axe.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wouldn't be useful for me because I have my vicious axe is 1d12 plus 2, and I already get 2 attacks for it.
Okay.
It actually might be useful for me. Let me double check. Let me do a quick comparison between that and the flail. So I could easily trade one for the other.
Oh,
Because my flail is only a +1, but it does 1d8. So I would be swinging. I'm swinging a 1d8 plus 4 right now.
when you
It
actually
wants
use
to make
it.
Scuba Steve real good.
But if I were to switch to the scimitar, which I have proficiency fighter, that brings me to 1d6, so 2 points lower in max potential, but
You would get to add your proficiency bonus to the attack rolls as well. If you
yeah,
have
I would go
proficiency.
from 1d8 plus 4 to 1d6 plus 5.
The only thing is that you wouldn't be able to use your war magic very effectively with it.
Of course I would. Doesn't affect me any.
Yeah, it does, because you can cast a spell and then you have to use your bonus action to make the attack.
Right.
Yeah,
The
but I
sword
can do that
requires you to
anyway.
have the sword requires you to use a bonus action to get the extra attack off of it, is what I'm saying.
Right. But now, if I were to use the scimitar, I can get that extra bonus action attack if I were to just use regular attack as an action.
You get 4 attacks. As
4
before.
attacks in a round rather than 3.
Correct.
I mean, I would get my bonus action, extra attack, period, end of story anyways. It's not really wasting anything from the scimitar. So, I mean, I'll take the scimitar if nobody wants the Manta Cloak, because I believe that's the choice we're being offered, yeah?
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. I'm fine with the weapon I have. I don't have any ambivalence towards either one. Knight looks like he wants to go for the Cloak of the Manta Ray, correct?
Yeah, it just seems like the better option because we're all pretty well equipped. However, if you feel like you'll be more effective with the sword, then by all means take it. The cloak is something we
Well,
can all use passively, and for those of us who don't
that's
have
a fair.
athletics, it's like, okay, well, here, use this to go swim. Instead of making an athletics check, you just breathe underwater, so whatever, fuck off, I guess. But how often do we find those in ourselves in that kind of situation? And even when we do, we normally have like 6 different workarounds.
Yeah, we also have our particular group tends to, I believe, have a lot of fun with the planning stage of things. So, I mean,
My vote.
yeah,
My vote's for the cloak. If you think that you want the sword, then vote for the sword, and I think everybody else should vote too.
I
Look,
mean,
sounds hope. But I'm also dealing without athletics, so I might be biased.
well, I like having extra damage, so
What you, Kita?
I mean, I'm like you. I'm ambivalent either way.
oh my gosh. You guys are like the 2 old senators that are always out of the building whenever a decision is made. Ugh. I'm kidding.
Don't you start that. Don't you compare me to any of that old guard bullshit.
If you think it's going to give you a edge in battle because we typically go into battle a lot, then just take the sword. But otherwise, if you think that it's not going to make that much of a difference, we'll just take the cloak.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Same.
You guys are really bad at this voting thing.
I saw that coming.
Well, it's odd, so it looks like that's a 1. I can change this to my fucking will. Anyway,
No, Grandma smacks you with a spoon. You will do no such thing.
You might snap that spoon in half,
Calorie.
doesn't have it anymore.
Calorie and Talia should flip a coin.
Basically.
Oh my god. Okay,
Okay.
both of you just roll like a d20, and whoever gets the highest gets their vote.
That sounds fair. I will agree to that. As we both wait for the other person to put their roll first.
I forgot how to do the roll d20.
Slash
Slash
roll
R.
20.
I forgot the R and just put in slash d20.
Ah! I forgot to put a space.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you guys. Do it again.
Alright.
How does that happen?
Because you guys are egging us on?
Don't roll d20s. Okay. Calorie wins by default.
Alright. Calorie wins. Calorie wins.
There we go. Callie gets the fucking cloak, alright?
No, I'd pick up the scimitar and hand it to Talia.
I'm sorry,
I leave.
dude.
I'm leaving. I'm not playing D&D with you people anymore.
Egging them. I had to
See
egg
what
them.
you did, Avril. Look what you did.
After all that is said and done, Zin, still holding the gushy, nasty biomass, kind of holds it up like, do you want this?
Oh, not at all. You could dispose of that thing.
Well, it seems like not a good idea to leave it here. It might attract others. You breathe fire? Or do you want me to set it on fire outside?
Oh, oh, oh! Holly like starts smacking Nokris on the arm. Do the thing. Do the thing.
Which thing? Are you talking about the fireball,
The
or are you talking?
thing.
That's frost freezes.
Ice breath?
No, the other thing.
Well, he doesn't
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
He doesn't really have control of being able to muster any kind of red dragon fire breath or anything from his particular orifice. I'll say.
Unless he hasn't told us some things that only Holly knows.
What if I hit him some more?
Some more. I mean, I can lay it on fire, yes, and I can change my scale color, sure, but that will definitely lay it on fire if that's what you're referring to. But I can't breathe fire, unfortunately.
Damn it.
Right. He could go red and then be like, oh, like breathe on it and throw a torch on it real quick and just be like, oh, look, see us, burning, yay.
I mean, freezing it would just make it nice and
Yes.
brittle, so we could turn it into a base for a stew.
Why would
Ew.
Ew, that would be nasty. No.
Guiding bolt it to blast it with holy.
I turned to Holly and it's like, as much as I would love to breathe on this thing, just burst into flames, I can't do that. While my lineage is from two very different dragons, silver and red, the silver has dominance in terms of my physical features. The red really only comes out when I'm casting magic. And even then it has its limits.
Okay.
Zin, still holding up this biomass, says, it hurts you, and I can respect the desire to want to mutilate. He kind of chuckles a little bit darkly to himself. But if it is not something you are keen on, I can take care of it outside.
Ah, yes. By all means. I have no intention of defiling my sanctum here with its presence and or its dispresence.
Absence.
Its absence, yes. Let's use synonyms the way we're meant to. But, try to fish for them in the minute.
Zin nods and then bows kind of deeply and says, take care of your mind, Mother Worm, before turning and walking out.
Okay.
Before we leave completely and leave you to recover, is there anything that we should be aware of for Claw and Old Gnawbone of what he particularly likes aside from human flesh, or what he is particularly maybe afraid of to help us in our negotiation endeavors, or if Claw comes to steal, the best way we may be able to defeat him?
Well, one thing that he definitely has in his presence, which will be a bit of a challenge, is that he has many magical balls, which are used to scry and see things happening around the coast. Yes. Yes, laughter.
Grandma's definitely laughing and giggling.
Otherwise, to properly try to persuade him will involve your wit and your cunning, trying to find something which, a dragon such as Claw may find interest in. So,
Understood. Thank you again for your guidance. I leave you to your rest, and I begin to head outside as well.
I give a bow to her and then start to head out as well.
Very well.
Holly will hang back and she'll wait until most everyone is kind of either on their way or maybe slightly out of earshot, and she'll look back up at the dragon. Mother Worm, if you have a moment before we go.
Yes.
You have been around in these lands a long time, yes? I believe it was something like 800 years?
That is correct.
Holly takes her mask off and just kind of holds it and looks at it. My sister was very fond of stories, as we Tabaxi typically are. But her favorite was actually a story from this region, and it is the entire reason I am here. It's the whole reason I came to this part of this great world. And I don't know if I'm chasing after just a story anymore, or if this creature from this story is real. And I was wondering if perhaps you could give them some perspective on this.
By all means.
Her favorite story was of a great steed with a pelt the color of the sun.
She kind of contemplates for a moment, thinking it over. There were such beasts in these parts many, many years ago, yes. But their kind has dwindled, and they are much rarer to come by these days.
Rarer, but not gone.
But not gone.
Holly kind of nods and looks back down at the mask. Smiles big up at the mother worm and says, "Thank you, mother worm. I hope you enjoy your mechanical canary in a lamp." And she just leaves. She just turns around and runs after the group.
Very well. All right, so I will bring us home before we call session for tonight, but effectively we'll make the 4-hour trek back from the Bronze Shrine across the road, high road down to Leyland, getting there shortly after nightfall. So, finding yourselves back in town.
We're alive!
You effectively find yourselves back at town, and I assume we'll kind of put things away for the night, see to any personal effects, affairs, or other options or things you wish to do, and we'll have a raucously long/short-lived night at the Bumpercock's Inn.
Boomercocks, yeah.
And
That sounds...
that is where we will hold for the week, I believe.
Bumpercock's Inn sounds like a really inappropriate albino black sheep flash game.
Oh my god, wow, way to age us all so fast by mentioning an albino flash. Oh, fuck.
You're just saying.
Oh, you want me to go
down a
further? I
very
could go to
deep hole.
E-Bomb's world.
Oh god.
Newgrounds.
Funny jump
Yeah.
shot.
E-Bombs and Newgrounds are basically like the same age for me, personally, but...
Mm-hmm.
What if we started talking about a major national grocery chain known as Big Bear?
I don't remember
Well.
them. I remember a chain called Shaw's, though.
Anyway, yes, we Bumpercock's Inn. Yep.
We bump our cocks in.
We just bumper coxin.
Yep.
All right, so that's where we'll end for the session for this week, and we will pick it up next week, continuing from here, where I'm sure we'll be very interested to effectively speak with the council of the town and see if there's anything to be had for this particular quest we undertook, which they didn't even know was present. But otherwise, we now have a direction and a potential sense that something may be connected between the earlier events of the particular module we started with and this upcoming component.
Can Holly just quickly,
Yeah, you want to do your
or
rolls?
can
for
I
your
quickly interject as Holly? Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead and.
What am
Can
I
we
rolling?
also long rest?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have your own long rest. You can activate long rest now. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And then give me a second D20. Okay. So you didn't ruin the one you're currently working on, but
Okay.
your progress was not as much as you would have hoped. Maybe it was because of all the excitement and all of the killing, and your hand was a little too active.
Okay.
All right, with that, I'm going to end the stream.
Good session.